Last week, the Attorney General's office announced it was investigating Wyatt's towing. Over the last year, 950 complaints have been filed with the Public Utilities Commission against Wyatt's, including by a state senator who wrote last year's bill on predatory towing. So we're talking towing today. It's a topic. It's a thing. That's why we brought in our legal expert, Whitney Traylor, to tell us about this. This whole thing got started, became law like a year ago. And for some people, I guess, that have never been towed, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal, and part of the issue, a number of those complaints, and I'm not sure if they were all directed to Wyatt's or if that was how many the PUC, the Public Utilities Commission, received, which governs towing. But the issue was that people said there wasn't signage up properly saying, hey, this is a towable area, if you will, and then trying to recover their vehicle, they were jumping through so many hoops. So there were so many complaints that the legislature and the PUC responded by creating these laws, and they call it the Towing Bill of Rights.
So what are the Bill of Rights? What are the fundaments of your Bill of Rights? If you're a car owner and your car's been towed, what are your rights?
Right, so the Towing Bill of Rights, so it focuses on non-consensual towing, and so it requires 24-hour notice before a non-consensual tow. There are exceptions. The towing company has to take pictures of a vehicle, of the condition and the reason for the tow. Consumers are allowed, this is actually really important, consumers are allowed to get their cars back if they pay 15% of the fees or $60, whichever is less, and then they have to pay the rest over time. Which
Which is significantly less than people have been forced to pay before this.
Exactly, because they were withholding the vehicles, and then there was a daily charge, and these are the allegations now, and so the Attorney General has come in and started this investigation, and I think the investigation has been going on since last year, and so the Wyatt's Towing is represented by Jason Dunn, a former U.S. Attorney General for Colorado, excellent attorney, so they haven't had to necessarily respond yet. They've just been complying with the investigation thus far.
And this investigation, got a little more attention recently because one of the sponsors of this bill herself was towed.
Yes.
And went through the experience.
Yeah.
And it didn't go great.
It didn't go great. What are the odds? It's kind of bizarre. It's Senator Julie Gonzalez, who's one of the sponsors, then was recently towed and had to jump through all these hoops and wait 40 minutes for them to get approval to refund her. And apparently it wasn't a proper tow. And the next day they did refund her money. But I don't know if that was easier because she was the senator or...
Part of this is people finding out about this,
Yeah,
to be fair.
What would you
You're
tell
desperate
people?
in that circumstance.
You're very desperate.
What would you tell someone?
Yeah.
Because, you don't expect to be towed, and usually most people find out at a bad place, a bad time of life. It never comes at the right time.
Right.
So what do you tell someone you're suddenly cast into this? What are the important things you need to know and remember?
Well, the good thing is that there's a Consumer Protection Division of the Colorado Attorney General, and that's who's currently investigating it. So that would be the starting place, is to tell some, if you think they violated, obviously try and get your vehicle back and sort it out with the company. But if they're not complying, if you think they're violating this Towing Bill of Rights, then go to the Attorney General. That's where you can both file a complaint and possibly get some help.
This comes at a difficult time for me. I was planning on starting my own towing company.
Were
soon.
you?
Yeah, Tom's Towing.
Tom's Towing?
I've always wanted to get into
Got a ring
towing.
to it.
Yeah, I've always wanted to jump in there.
Yeah.
So this is specific to Wyatt's, but do we know how
It's
broad that
everybody,
is?
sounds like, yeah.
Right, and so I saw different reporting that the 950 complaints, some said it was towards Wyatt's, others said it was just the PUC in general. So I don't know if those were just how many complaints, but that is kind of how our representative government is supposed to work. When there's an issue that's impacting the population, you complain to those people who can do something, legislators, and they presumably legislate.
Do you know, are most of these tows from private property that is posted as opposed to municipal violations?
I don't know the number, and that's a good question. And
Does that change things?
It definitely could be relevant, but I think, and before the the Towing Bill of Rights, before that came along, I think the issue as it related to not having signage up, there just wasn't a regulation about it, and so it was like people were saying, how would I even know that
I was parking in the wrong spot.
place? Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, and you also feel for businesses and others that are saying, hey, listen, we've given you notice and we need customers to follow the rules.
And they
But-
can still do it. They just have to give the 24-hour notice. So it's really more about the non-consensual tow. And I think the biggest impediment is probably the time. You have to wait at least this 24 hours. So,
As they said in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, there are still even rules in a knife fight.
It's like, where
I didn't know where he was going with that.
Me
Okay.
either. Okay.
Whitney, thanks as always. Sorry about ruining your segment.
That's okay. Great ending.
Kathy?